It's meat pie, mashed potatoes, and a green sauce called liquor, which contains zero liquor and has confused visitors since forever. This was always working class London comfort food. Cheap, filling, historic, and depending on who you ask, perfect exactly the way it is. We had it in an actual pie and mash shop with actual locals who would be very upset if we screwed this up today. So we're gonna try not to. You ready? It's a big day today and I'm super excited. Here's the order. Make the pie filling, make the pie crust, get the pie in the oven, then we make the mash, the liquor, and the chili vinegar. You're gonna see that. It's all good. It's all great. The pie begins with a little oil and some ground beef. Or if we're staying in the language of the land, mince. Recipe below. And this we want to break up. We're gonna want it fairly fine when we're done. So start away. And once it's a bit broken up, you can just let it get some decent color on the bottom side because that's adding decent flavor. Now some diced yellow onion. Mix this in and give this, 2 or 3 minutes. And while we're here, we can give it a little seasoning. Little salt and pepper. Hope everybody caught that because I did.
Hope everybody caught that because I did.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Dad, you're a f***ing legend.
You have that on camera?
You see what he just did, people?
In the middle of cooking.
Holy shit, he just saved.
I don't know if they put garlic in theirs, but I like a little. It's flavor. Trust me, a ton of the flavor will be coming from the liquor, the parsley, the gravy. But never hurts to add a little more. Next up, a little flour. And we mix. Give this about a minute. You don't want to see any white and you want to get rid of the raw flour taste. Next in, beef stock, followed by a little Worcestershire, a little white pepper, and a little soy. Probably not traditional, but it's gonna make for great flavor. And this we want to bring to a little simmer. Oi mate, I said little simmer. Turn you down.
The Brits love it when you bust out your accent.
You cut it out. You cut it out. Oi mate, I said little, not f***ing manic. Okay.
All right, that was East London. Now
Oh,
let's
yeah,
do
no,
West London.
no, I can't
No,
do.
let's do West.
Excuse me, sir. May you turn the simmer down just a little bit? Okay, so here's what we do. We're gonna give this a couple minutes. Where'd that simmer go? There we go. To just get fantastic and thicken a bit. That's too wet to go into our pie. So we'll let this thicken up a bit. And that's gonna take, 3-4 minutes. I'll show you how I like it. Okay, see this? Here's the consistency I like. And if you drag a spatula through it and it doesn't fill in right away with liquid, we're good. Take this off the heat and let this cool. In the meantime, we'll get started on our liquor. And the liquor begins with butter. We're making a little roux. And we add flour. And then whisk. Give this about a minute and we can start adding some chicken broth. I know it's a beef pie, but beef broth would make this way too dark. We don't want that. And heavier in flavor too, we don't want that. I always repeat myself, but when you're adding liquids to things like this, let it get smooth before you add more so you can be sure there's no lumps. And when it's all in, let it come to a little bubble and give it 2 minutes or so. Okay, we add a couple things. A little white pepper, a little malt vinegar. This will come back again. A little shot of that. Some salt. Remember what this sauce was? Parsley gravy, essentially. And because a little too much parsley will be bitter, or just a little sugar, and we can mix. Crazy, man. Hello, love, how's it going? That's as crazy looking as it should be. Okay, there we are. There's your liquor. All right, let's have a little taste. Parsley sauce. Wow. This whole thing is it's almost simple components that come together in the most exceptional way. All right, it's time for the pie dough. I'm doing 2 things. You'll be all right. Let me detour for 1 second. That's half water and half chicken stock. And what am I using it for? For the liquid for softening my potatoes, for the mash. Why half chicken stock? Because it's going to be a lot more flavor. Let me just drain the potatoes, and then in they go. You get this drill, right? They've just been cut up to even sized pieces so they cook at the same time. And once they're soft, we'll mash them. We'll add a little butter and milk. But listen, these are not meant to be super flavorful, super rich potatoes. They're meant to be a little bit on the plainer side, okay? But enough of that. Let's put this over to the side and get on with our dough. That's flour. What we're making is a hot water pastry. Very interesting. It's very old school. It requires a couple things. The flour, of course, vegetable shortening. I think back in the day it would have been lard. I just don't happen to have lard in my pantry, but I have vegetable shortening and a little bit of water. So these we will mix. Oops, I didn't mean to get it in there. Now I need to melt this. So give me 1 second. What? Sorry,
What's happening here?
why am I using such a little pot, a little pan? I just need to melt the shortening.
God, it's gonna fall through.
Well, I can't, if I set it down, it'll tip in the worst way. And I don't want it, geez Louise. Hot water pastry. So just let me say, while we're waiting for this to potentially become a disaster, I don't need it that hot. Typically this pie would have a hot water crust on the bottom and on the top. But the top crust for me, I want something different. So I'm gonna go with puff pastry. So I've got some puff pastry, just store-bought that we're gonna use. It's gonna be great. Okay, so here's what you want. I mean, why do I make trouble for myself? Once the shortening is melted, and this is just bubbling a tiny bit. All right, now we add it to the flour. Here we go, like this. Now, it's hot, of course. So we start with a spoon. And I know it doesn't look like there's enough liquid to do anything here, but trust me, have some faith, have some faith. Look, you wanna go hot water crust, top and bottom, then by all means, Sparky, you do you, but I don't. And you'll see in the end, it's gonna be beautiful and eat perfectly and, okay. But now you gotta bring all this together. And now these stupid bracelets that I must wear are gonna clank every time I do this. Is this annoying? Yes, it is annoying. Just bring all this together as best you can. I'll tell you the one thing about this hot water pastry dough. It's very forgiving, you know? Like if you have to patch something, it'll patch without really anybody knowing. I want to get this as best as I can onto the counter and just knead it a bit. I need to knead this. And you can see it's still kind of flaky-esque, but that will get better in the next minute or so. So now when you've got it like this, that's all. How long has this been? A minute? It's like Play-Doh, really. I need 2 bottoms out of this. So I'm gonna use my rolling pin. I know, my ring clicks. If it's not these, it's this. You know, I put this ring on 40 years ago. It'll be 41 years. I can't get it off. No way that's coming off. So I better stay married to Kelly because the next person is not gonna want to have that ring. See what I mean? It's very forgiving. It lets you lift it up, throw it around. Like I'm going with this. I have a little bit more of the shortening that I'm gonna grease these guys with because I don't want anything to stick. Can you imagine making a beautiful pie and you can't get it out? Shit, that would suck. And this guy will go in here. Push down. You wanna go up on this edge, but we don't really need to go past it. Here's what makes it good. See this little rip? I'm gonna fix that. What makes it work well is that it's pretty hearty and you're putting this, you know, not wet, but semi-moist. Great. Now, because these are gonna take longer to bake than the puff pastry that I'm gonna put on top, we're gonna do something called blind baking. And here's what happens. You need some parchment. And now, rice. The rice is gonna help keep the shape so it doesn't puff up. My oven's at 400, where I will bake the pies. These guys are going in the oven. 10 minutes, I'll bring them back. We'll finish it off. In the meantime, it's mashed potatoes. You can now keep this rice to use another time because as far as rice goes, it's now a weight. It's not rice. All right, let's do this. Let's take them out. Remember this? This recipe makes 2 of these perfectly. Now you just fill them up. So we're not trying to make these rounded, really. You're just trying to go like this. The puff pastry is going to puff up a bit, more than a traditional pie would, because it's the hot water crust on top, on bottom and top, that doesn't rise like the puff pastry. That being said, I want a damn beautiful puff pastry top. I'm gonna put on top of this what I want. And I'm a store-bought puff pastry guy. I'm not making my own. I'm pretty certain there's plenty of recipes out there. If you wanna knock yourself out, knock yourself out. I'm now just gonna give a little egg wash around the edges to help the puff pastry stick a bit. Hey, I am such a good whistler. Do you think that music might get claimed by YouTube and will be demonetized? Get this guy rolled out. Or as we say in Canada, rolled out. And you don't want to take the puff pastry out of the fridge until you need it, because it will get super soft and gummy. And we go one on top, the other one. And now we're gonna push down where the rubber meets the road, if you know what I'm saying. This is unconventional because normally it would be hot water, top and bottom. The carpets would meet the drapes in the British version, but in my version, they don't. And we do this again. A little egg wash. This is an egg that's been beaten with about a tablespoon of water, so it's not so clumpy, and we're here for color and gloss and shine. Gorge us. Okay, oven's still at 400. 400 degrees, and they go till they're gorgeous. It's probably 30 minutes. We'll finish the mashed potatoes while these are in the oven. It's potato o'clock. Let's see how they are. Here's what you want. This. Yes. Beautiful. Okay. First we drain them. Okay, they're drained, but they still have a little liquid, so we're gonna put them back in this pot just for a minute or so on sort of medium heat. Give them a little shake to get rid of the moisture. Remember what we did? We cooked them in that chicken broth water combination, and they're gonna be way better. They may not be pie mash shop plain enough, but they're gonna be good for us. Now that they're dry, I'm gonna take them out, put them on here, kill the heat, put this back on, and now we use our potato ricer to make them smooth. We just fill this guy up and we press. And if I show you from the side, it's a ricer because it comes out like bits of rice, right? Just carry on. And now we do this. This is a little buttermilk, and we'll add to here.
Buttermilk or butter and milk?
That's a little butter and milk. This is close to where we want them. I don't want them too creamy. And that's looking pretty good. So let's season them a bit. Of course, salt, because, wow, potatoes always need that. And now, let's do a little white pepper. I used to think white pepper was a scam. Now I'm a fan of it. Okay, let's talk chili vinegar for a second. Go into any pie and mash shop, and this is what will be on the table. Malt vinegar. Just like this. It's great. It's delicious. And a few sprinkles of this on top of your pie is a welcome addition. But the other thing that they have on the table beside that would be chili vinegar. So I made mine like this. I took a couple of these long red Holland peppers, sliced them up thin, and I put them in a bottle with some malt vinegar and a whole chili in here too. Can you see the whole chili? So this now will be an amazing addition. And I just poked a couple holes. I feel like a couple of the shops we went into had a system like this, not a proper bottle. Oh, they may have, but this, here, look, just for this. It's great. You don't want to dump it out. You want a little bit. Okay. Pies are in, mash is done, liquor's done, chili vinegar's waiting. As soon as those pies come out, man, this is gonna be fucking amazing. Mate. And here they come. They've been out of the oven a couple of minutes to cool down a little bit, and oh my God. See, this is why I like the puff pastry business, because look how glorious the top of it is. And I know it's not traditional. And I know somebody's gonna shit on me, but come on. Now is the plating. So let me show you how this thing goes together, because this is the important part. Remember the mash? It's beautiful. Oh, okay, I've had some. It's super delicious. But here's the move. You ready? In a pie shop, you would order by how many mash and how many pies you want. If If I put a pie on here, that'd be 1 and 1 or 1 pie, 1 mash. It's a little small, so we'll do that. There you go. Now, remember the liquor? Of course you do. And our pie, which can go like this. Oh, a little warm. Oh. And like that. Forget all that. Okay, so here's what we do. We come in and we check out how we've done. Oh, look at the pie. You got to get some of everything, and you absolutely want your first bite to have some of the liquor, because that's such an important part of this. All right, let's try. Max and I were there in London having this. You're gonna shit yourself. It's like we're right there. It's like we're right there. Wait, chili vinegar. Like this, like this. I should open a pie shop. No, I shouldn't. I don't want to be in the restaurant business anymore. But I just want this all the time. Oh my God. Oh, wait, the mash. You got to get a little mash with the liquor too. Holy shit. Full recipes below. There's a couple components. It's nothing. It's nothing. The hardest part was waiting it out while it baked. That was it. We love London. We love the food. We love this. And if you do, you should make this too. Or just get yourself an invitation to come here.